Have you lost your mind?
Nothing for me. Whatever you did the other day, it didn't take. I saw you for 5 minutes. What do you expect?
Why are you gay?
Wow.
Most impressive.
Bravo! Encore! You disgust me!
I'm smart and I want respect!
This is the way.
What's up guys, Ivan here with getivan.com, and today I have a special video for you. So I have purchased a Corsair Dark Core RGB Pro SE, and I've also purchased this here, so HyperX Alloy Origins Core, compact 10 keyless design, mechanical keyboard. So in one of the previous videos I did, I talked about issues with SteelSeries products that I've been having. I have a SteelSeries Apex 5 and a SteelSeries Rival 310 eSports mouse. I actually have the box still. I spotted it earlier. Here's the mouse, and you can see the price tag here is 50 bucks. Both of the pieces of hardware had issues at the exact same time. #1 gaming mouse from Maximum PC. The problem I have with the mouse, it is too light. And then recently when some keys started going bad on the Apex 5, the wheel started having issues on the mouse where I would scroll down and you know, this is a mouse that has a clicky scroll. I would scroll down and then it would just subtly detect it continuing, and then so like if I was watching, you know, YouTube shorts or something, it would just go just cascade downwards. I looked at every mouse at Best Buy. I decided I wanted to buy it, you know, locally because I needed to handle the hardware. Most of the products are just, they're like really light. I don't like that. You know, I want my products to have some heft And I want them to have just typical buttons. I don't like the fact that so many of the products on the market have a bajillion buttons on the side. And some of them were even like this. Some of the newer SteelSeries products, they had like a mesh. They had a mesh here where it's like stuff could fall into the mouse. I just thought, man, that has got to be the dumbest idea for a mouse. So anyways, it says it's wireless, but then the older display had a cord, and so then I look at the settings back here, and it said that it's either or. So it comes with a wire. I made sure to open it up to confirm that. And here's the wire. It plugs into the front of the mouse. So there's the core mouse. Ta-da. The wing is a little bit odd. The older one actually had a wing on both sides, which I thought was not a great idea. This one is okay. It has, you can see, 2 side buttons on the exact side, on the face there. And then it has upper tier buttons. And then this has a DPI control, which I think is essential. A lot of the mice, they have a bunch of redundant features. Well, I don't know about redundant, just pointless. Like, I don't need 1,000 buttons, you know. But you have to have a DPI control, and you don't necessarily need side buttons. Like, I could care less about these side buttons, like, but I have to have a DPI control because I do need to change the sensitivity for certain kinds of softwares, you know, sometimes. So, and the wheel is clicky, so it clicks at certain phases. And that's important to note because some of the wheels, like for the Razer mount mice, they're continuous scroll. They're micro clicky, which you might have a use case for that, but I prefer one that's clicky. Although, I'm starting to wonder if maybe that's a defect because that was kind of an issue in mine. And I'll show you my older one in a moment here. Here, there's a notch. We can take that off, and we can slip that into the notch there, and now our mouse has 2 wings. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the movie Elizabethtown. You remember the shoes that Orlando Bloom's character made? Those awful winged sort of Nike looking shoes? That kind of reminds me of that shoe. Let's from now on, let's call this the Elizabethtown Corsair. But let's move on here, and we'll open up the keyboard. So this was just based on me literally going like this to every mouse at Best Buy and just going, you know, just finding whichever one didn't go, you know, a good few inches into the air because it was so excessively light and flimsy. You know, I want a hefty product. I want a solid product. I don't want a crummy plastic mouse. Really. There's a dongle in the box also. This mouse is $100. I've purchased at least 2 or 3 gaming mice at this point for the $50 to $60 range, and they go bad. You know, they go bad. I mean, not completely bad, but they have little issues. You know, so. It'd be nice to find a hefty mouse with the key features that is cheaper. But right now I've got the Corsair and I think it's going to be okay. I did look at all the keyboards. Then we have this HyperX product, and I tried all the keyboards. The keyboards get really expensive. Like some of the ones I was looking at, fancy ones, were $250. HyperX is one of the top rated keyboards on Tom's Hardware. It's the #1 recommendation, and this one's only $60. It's fully aluminum, mechanical key, etc., etc. So it's very similar actually to the Apex 5 that I have, and then the SteelSeries actually came with. You do have to get a wrist protection. I don't think this comes with that. So this was recommended. I also did test all the keyboards, and you'll be able to see, like, in some clips that I attach here, that a lot of the other keyboards just have like a really poor action. Very heavy keyboard. Pretty nice, actually. This is a little softer. But this one's supposed to be fully mechanical, whereas my SteelSeries was hybrid. For the price, I think it seems to be pretty good. Anyways, let's skip ahead, plug it in, see how it goes, and we'll compare it to other stuff we've got. When I plugged the HyperX keyboard into the computer, I started hearing a loud buzz. So it's kind of like, it's like loud in terms of frequency, you know, a frequency, and it was oscillating. And I unplugged the USB from the back of the keyboard, and the sound stopped. So then I thought, okay, well, let me try a different USB port on the motherboard, and it still happened. So then I thought, well, maybe it has something to do with the graphics on the keyboard. And so I tried on F1, 2, and 3, you can do different color oscillations. And so then I turned it off, and the sound stopped. So the color oscillations are actually causing frequency feedback. Now, I do use a MIDI device, and I pipe it through an amplifier. I have a little bit more space and feedback. You know, it's a little hotter than would probably be typical from studio monitors. So I'm not sure that most people could hear it in headphones or desktop speakers, but it's interesting that that was a thing, that the color oscillations were causing that feedback. So I turned it off. And by the way, I just now noticed this, I'm sorry guys, but here on the box, right here, Aqua and Tactile, I'm pretty sure that I bought one that is designed to be soft, you know, opposed to clickety-clack. So I prefer a clickety-clack, but maybe I can get used to Aquas. Can't believe I just now noticed this. The reason that the HyperX is shorter, there's no number pad on it. So this is the Apex. There's a number pad here. So over here, they have the arrow keys. And where the arrow keys right here, there's supposed to be a number pad. I'm not sure if I can live with that. I don't know, because I use that number pad to enter in pens all the time, you know. Actually, without the keypad there's like a whole space on my desk, an extra space now. I can put a cup there so that I can, you know, spill stuff. But, so listen to this. And then listen to this. That HyperX, or that Apex SteelSeries, that has some clickety clacks. Noticing the mouse is pretty awesome. The mouse performs really well. It's really solid. Excellent DPI. It's pretty fantastic. It's absolutely another class above the SteelSeries mouse that I purchased before. And you see, mine is really, I'm sorry about this, I know this is gross, but this is also a learning lesson. Like, I like these side buttons. This is really simple. So as far as the general design of this mouse, it's almost perfect. Like, you got two side buttons that are not too far to the side. Like, side buttons that are slightly elevated is even better because, well, you want them to be there, but I don't even use those, really. So I don't want to click into them, and sometimes in some things I'm doing I do accidentally click into them, but you have the DPI control, that the buttons and the wheel, that's all you need. And then this design for the mesh is just terrible, and there are other designs that they've made that are just like ridiculous, like, and I didn't even see this until I looked at this in my photography lights, but you can see this growtiness, and I apologize, I know that's disgusting, but you know, I could take a wire brush and, you know, clean off the mouse, but why do you need this? Like, what is the purpose of this design? Do I need a grip? Am I going to swing this mouse like a baseball bat? You know, it's just ridiculous, you know. So design, they need to be thinking about, like, how can we make this as clean as possible, as functional as possible, as sturdy as possible, make the product as quality as possible. The clickety is still there, but the problem is down in the optics. Apparently, there's an issue. Now, it could be maybe dust or something. Maybe if I got a can of air and was really thorough, maybe it could solve the problem. But You know, before I replaced this, I pressed it and I rolled it real hard, and I did some stuff, and it just didn't solve the problem. So the mouse was more expensive, $100 than the core board. So I would definitely say that the mouse was a better buy. Thanks for watching. See you guys.